Hello everyone, welcome to Arpita Sharma classes. I am Arpita Sharma, your educator, and today we are going to understand the important news from the Hindu newspaper that is for 8th July 2020. आप सभी का स्वागत है अर्पिता शर्मा क्लासेस में। मैं हूं आपकी एजुकेटर अर्पिता शर्मा। आज हम कुछ important current affairs पढ़ने जा रहे हैं। Without any delay, let's start. Also, here's a small announcement that in today's class, the most important current affairs we are going to understand them through the help of माइंड मैप्स। आज कुछ ऐसे इंपॉर्टेंट करंट अफेयर्स आए हैं जो कि आपके मेंस जीएस पेपर 2 और प्रीलिम्स के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो उनको ना हम माइंड मैप फॉर्मेट में तैयार करेंगे ताकि वो हम रिवीजन के टाइम पे यूजफुल रहे। राइट, ये रिवीजन के टाइम पे हम इजीली उसको रिवाइज कर सकें। राइट, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द क्लास विदाउट एनी डिले। क्लास शुरू करते हैं। Also, I'm teaching live on Unacademy Plus. If you wish to subscribe to Unacademy Plus, you can get 10% off on your subscription by using this referral code Sharma20. ये कोड यूज करके आपको easily 10% डिस्काउंट अपने सब्सक्रिप्शन पे मिल सकता है। Alright, चलो let's start the class. Now the first important news is regarding golden birdwing. So Himalayan butterfly named golden birdwing, इट इज नाउ इंडियाज लार्जेस्ट बटरफ्लाई। अब ये इंडिया की लार्जेस्ट बटरफ्लाई बनी है। राइट, दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज। ये बहुत ही ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज है। इट इज नाउ इंडियाज लार्जेस्ट बटरफ्लाई, सो दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर प्रीलिम्स। ये प्रीलिम्स के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। एंड इट्स विंग स्पैन इज ऑफ 194 mm and the record was earlier held by southern birdwing. Now it has been given to Himalayan butterfly who is golden birdwing. This is the picture. पहले southern birdwing को ये रिकॉर्ड दिया गया था, ये टाइटल दिया गया था। अब दिया गया है ये टाइटल हिमालयन बटरफ्लाई, जिसका नाम है गोल्डन birdwing। ठीक है, ये इंडिया की लार्जेस्ट बटरफ्लाई है, इंडियाज लार्जेस्ट बटरफ्लाई। एंड द स्मॉलेस्ट वन इज, दिस इज द लार्जेस्ट। राइट, ये तो लार्जेस्ट है। स्मॉलेस्ट कौन सी है? इट्स अ नियोपिथेकॉप्स ज़ाल्मोरा। इट इज द क्वेकर, इसका दूसरा नाम है क्वेकर। इसका विंग स्पैन है 18 mm। ऑलराइट, so आपको विंग स्पैन भी याद रखना है। You have to remember the wing span as well. While the male golden birdwing is much smaller at 106 mm wingspan, female of the species is marginally larger than the southern birdwing. All right. So this particular news is very important from the perspective of your prelims. ये आपके prelims के perspective से काफी important news है, तो इसको मिस मत करना किसी भी कारणवश। ठीक है, चलो लेट्स move forward. Center to lay down vaccine trial norms. This is again very very important news. Guidance document on anvil, says DBT. The government is readying a document that will lay down guidelines for companies and institutions working on potential COVID-19 vaccines. So certain guidelines the government is going to the government is going to prepare them, right? And it will be issued to those institutions who are working on the COVID-19 vaccines. COVID-19 pandemic has prompted regulators across the world to issue emergency use authorization for certain drugs and trials on potential vaccines, ताकि किसी तरीके के पद से पब्लिक को भ्रमित ना किया जा सके, so that the public is not you can say the misinformation regarding the vaccine is not spread. To stop that, certain guidelines will be issued by the government. The government is readying a document that will lay down certain guidelines or provisions for those companies or institutions who are working on the potentials of COVID-19 vaccines. Now, this is a very important editorial in today's newspaper for GS paper 2. We are going to understand it through mind map format. In standoff, keeping an eye on the nuclear ball. In the conventional escalation along the LAC, India cannot afford to ignore China's expanding nuclear arsenal. So in a standoff between India and China, we cannot forget how when it comes to the nuclear power, China is much more empowered. अगर हम stand off की या war की बात करते हैं चाइना के साथ, ठीक है, तो हमें ये नहीं भूलना चाहिए कि चाइना nuclear empowered nation है, right? So here we should understand the nuclear weapons which China is holding right now. The Stockholm International Peace Research Institute observes that China's nuclear arsenal has risen from 290 warheads in 2019 to 320 warheads in 2020. You can see the increase. पहले 290 न्यूक्लियर वॉरहेड्स थे चाइना के पास 2019 में, पिछले साल, अब 320 हो गए हैं. So it is day by day increasing, year by year increasing its nuclear warheads. Then China's Lop Nord has been the site, underline this, लॉपनूर हैज बीन द साइट ऑफ चाइनीज सब क्रिटिकल टेस्टिंग. चाइना में न्यूक्लियर वॉरहेड्स की टेस्टिंग कहाँ होती है? लॉपनूर में. Since China adopted a moratorium on hot testing in 1996, it has been able to miniaturize warheads and develop new designs that have been progressively integrated into its nuclear arsenal. Also, there is a growing evidence that PRC has been expanding its nuclear arsenal and mission capabilities. So, if India and China are going to face any major setback in the future or any major war in the future, they have to be very careful about each other's growing nuclear powers, right? Clear? China is becoming expansionist country nation. That means it is expanding its horizons in the nuclear weapons. Expansionist mode में चल रही है China आजकल. Also missile modernization. So here if you can see, China's nuclear modernization has also diversified nuclear capabilities present India with challenges. Now चाइना के जो मॉडर्नाइजेशन, न्यूक्लियर मॉडर्नाइजेशन हो रहा है, इससे इंडिया को भी काफी न्यूक्लियर कैपेबिलिटी, इंडिया की न्यूक्लियर कैपेबिलिटीज को चैलेंजेस फेस करने पड़ रहे हैं. China's DF-31As, which are road mobile intercontinental ballistic missiles, they are equipped with MIRVs and potent penetration aids. What are MIRVs? These are multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles. They have the capability to neutralize the multi-layered missile defense capability of US. So India हैज टू फेस चैलेंजेस राइट नाउ. जब यूएस की ही कैपेबिलिटीज को न्यूट्रलाइज करने का की क्षमता रखती है चाइना, तो इंडिया के साथ अगर कोई वॉर होता है तो उस वक्त इंडिया को भी केयरफुली प्लान्ड वॉर लेकर चलना पड़ेगा. वॉर इज नॉट द ऑप्शन राइट नाउ, राइट? एंड चाइना इज हैविंग अ न्यूक्लियर अपर हैंड इन इंडिया. इंडिया से कंपेयर अगर करें, वी कंपेयर इट विद इंडिया, यस चाइना इज हैविंग अ न्यूक्लियर अपर हैंड. ऑन कंपेरिजन बेस्ड ऑन न्यूक्लियर कैपेबिलिटीज, अगर न्यूक्लियर कैपेबिलिटीज के बेसिस पे हम कंपेयर करें, चाइना डेफिनेटली हैज एन अपर हैंड ओवर इंडिया. चाइना हैज हायर नंबर ऑफ न्यूक्लियर वॉरहेड्स एंड हायर अमाउंट ऑफ वेपन्स ग्रेड plutonium as well, right? Clear? And also we have the Pakistan factor. India has to contend with a nuclear armed Pakistan as well, because if we are going to set a war against China, then obviously Pakistan will help China. पाकिस्तान तो अपने दोस्त की हेल्प करने आएगा ही आएगा, तो हमें न्यूक्लियर आर्म्ड, पाकिस्तान भी न्यूक्लियर आर्म्ड है, तो हमें उसके साथ भी उसको भी फेस करना पड़ेगा, राइट? इंडियन न्यूक्लियर आर्सेनल स्टैंड्स एट रफली 150 न्यूक्लियर वॉरहेड्स. पाकिस्तान हैज 160, China has 320. So you can see India, this is India with 150 nuclear warheads against Pakistan plus China, that is 160 plus 320 nuclear warheads. Now you can imagine the situation, right? Now the next important news, top priority to complete strategic roads. So at a meeting which was convened to review the progress of construction activities in border areas with Border Road Organization, Director General, Defence Minister has directed BRO that work on strategic Darbuk Shiok Daulat Beg Oldi Road should be completed by October 2020. We all know that India has been building 61 strategic Indo-China border roads, right? जिनका measure कुछ around 3,323.57 kilometer है. We have been building 61 strategic roads on India-China borders, right? 75% of the completion is the construction is complete. China is, against this construction. China is construction के against चल रहा है. That is why China is objecting it. Out of these, 12 roads are in the Union territories of JNK and Ladakh, while 3 roads are in Sikkim. Now here the most important road over here is the Darbuk Shiok Daulat Beg Oldi Road. It has been in the making for around 2 decades. पिछले 20 साल से इसको कंस्ट्रक्ट करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, and now it has been expected that by 2020 end it will be constructed. DBO, it is India's northernmost corner, which in army parlance is called subsector north. China has been objecting to Indian road and infrastructure development at several points in LAC. Right, and this is one such structure which China is objecting right now. Now, what is the significance of DSBO? DSDBO is Darbuk Shiok Daulat Beg Oldi, right? What is the importance of this? From the DSDBO road, a road branches off towards Galwan Valley. इसी में से जैसे this is the DSBO road. From here only a road branches off to the Galwan Valley. Right, this one, it is a hill feature which India wants to protect because it overlooks the area around the main road. The branch road has prompted the standoff in Galwan Valley. ये जो branch road निकल रही है DSDBO की main road से, इसी से दिक्कत शुरू हुई है. Right, from here only the problem has started. Indian troops have been patrolling up to this area, but the idea now is to have road access and presence here. And China is objected to this. China is not in favor of India utilizing the DSDBO road to its full potential, because of which standoffs are taking place. And also the DBO, it is located only 9 kilometers away from the line of actual control with China. Right, and it is also bordering Jiwan Nalla, Aksai Chin, Chip Chap River, etc., which is also crucial for China. And before the laying of the road, the only way to reach the area was via the ALG, which was very heavy lift aircraft. Right, but now when the road will be constructed, we can easily reach the crucial areas in the line of actual control. Also, it will ensure faster deployment of troops in this area. Right. Next important news, US stance on CARTSA unchanged. This is related to GS paper 2. The US State Department spokesperson has said, we urge all our allies and partners to forego transactions with Russia that risk triggering sanctions under the CARTSA. पिछले साल से पिछले साल से 2018 से हम पढ़ रहे हैं कार्टसा के बारे में, that US is trying to warn the other countries that if you are going to transact with Russia, we are going to impose sanctions over you under CARTSA. So despite a change in ground realities following the clash between India and China along LAC, US's message to countries including India on the restrictions or sanctions for purchase of Russian arms has not changed. Right? Still, US is saying to all the nations including India that if you will try to transact with Russia, then we are going to impose economic restrictions on you. So what is CARTSA? Let us understand. It is Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act. It's a US federal law which imposed sanctions on Iran, North Korea and Russia. So if you are going to transact with Iran or North Korea or Russia, then US will impose restrictions of trade and economy on you. It includes sanctions against countries that engage in significant transactions with Russian defense and intelligence sector. Right? Next important news, बहुत ही important news है ये. F1 visa students cannot take all classes online, says US. Foreign students in US, including thousands of Indians, are left facing the possibility of falling out of valid immigration status because of the rule about attending the online classes passed by Department of Homeland Security. Now, what is this rule? The US rule announced by Immigration and Custom Enforcement, which is an agency within the Department of Homeland Security, says those F1 and M1, that is non-academic and vocational students, visa holders, planning to take only online classes in the fall, that is in the autumn, will not be allowed to remain in US. जो ऑनलाइन क्लास लेने की प्लानिंग कर रहे हैं F1 M1 वीजा होल्डर्स, F1 मतलब जो नॉन एकेडमिक स्टूडेंट्स हैं या वोकेशनल स्टूडेंट्स हैं, राइट, जो ऑनलाइन क्लासेस लेने की प्लान कर रहे हैं ऑटम में, वो यूएस की सिटीजनशिप, जो टेम्पररी सिटीजनशिप है, वो खो देंगे. Due to COVID-19, a number of universities are planning to shift all their classes online for the autumn semester. Non-immigrant F1 and M1 students attending the schools operate entirely online may not take full online course load and remain in the US. And those whose colleges and universities were moving to an online only model would therefore have to leave the country, or they have to find another way to stick in the country. So normally F1 students are allowed to take one class or 3 credit hours online. And according to ICE, that is the Immigration and Custom Enforcement, active students currently in the US enrolled in such programs must depart the country or take other measures. For example, transferring to a school with in-person instruction to remain in lawful status. अगर नहीं होगा तो उनको वापस भेजा जाएगा उनकी अपनी countries. Next important news, Center won't extend deadline for levy on foreign e-com firms. The government is not considering extending the deadline for payment of equalization levy by non-resident e-commerce players. Now here, what is this equalization? 2% equalization levy was introduced in 2020-21 budget. April 1st 2020 से ये इफेक्ट में आया था कि जितने भी आपकी नॉन रेजिडेंट ई कॉमर्स कंपनीज है इंडिया में, गूगल हो गया, फेसबुक हो गया, राइट, अमेजोन हो गया, उनको 2% इक्वलाइजेशन टैक्स भरना पड़ेगा. राइट, the equalization tax, it is designed to provide a level playing field for resident marketplaces or providers who are subject to Indian income taxes. So all the foreign e-firms have to pay this tax. The tax applies to e-commerce transactions on websites like Amazon, Google, right? and all these foreign e-commerce firms have to pay this tax, and इन्होंने कहा था कि इस डेडलाइन को बढ़ा दिया जाए to fill the taxes, but center will not be extending the deadline, right? So equalization tax is important for your prelims. ये आपके prelims के लिए बहुत important है. Last important news, Software Technology Parks of India, STPI. It's an autonomous society, underline this, set up by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology in 1991. You have to remember which ministry has tried to establish it in which year, and it was set up with the objective of encouraging, promoting, boosting software exports. It maintains internal engineering resource to provide consulting, training and implementation of IT enabled services. So जो STP scheme है जो launch की गई है, the scheme has been launched which is known as STP scheme. It's a 100% export oriented scheme for development and export of computer software. Alright, so this is very important for prelims. ये pre के लिए important है. So this was all for today. I hope you enjoyed today's class. If you really enjoyed it, do not forget to share the video, like the video and subscribe the channel. Thank you.